Good morning, this is Kathleen Foster from Port Hueneme News, and I'm here with Kevin Brannon of Reel Guppies. It's an outdoor fishing club for kids, getting them involved in fishing and being outside. Kevin, you want to tell us a little bit about your program?
So our program is basically based on fishing, but we do some other adventures, maybe a little bit of hiking, some whale watching. Most of our trips are here on Port Hueneme Pier. I wanted to start a program here in Port Hueneme in our area that gave something back to the kids. I do a TV show called Rural Anglers Fishing Show on the internet. Now we're trying to get to the big outdoor channels, but when I would go fishing with my kids, we'd leave the house in our apartment. Some other kids would say, "Hey, I wish somebody could take me fishing." You know, in this area, a lot of single moms and different programs and stuff that that need mentors and stuff like that to get back to our community. So I would say, "Hey, just drop your kid off at the beach and we'll get them set up." So we started this about 7 years ago. We would just pick random days, a Saturday here and there. And then we started doing it once a month 3 years ago. We went nonprofit, and we've been doing it ever since, once a month. It's usually the fourth Sunday. We went from Saturday to Sunday. That way we're not competing with sports, baseball and soccer.
Yes.
I was missing my kid's games when he's playing because we'd set up the whole year. But we do it. It's always the fourth weekend. It's usually a Sunday. In the summertime we do a couple of boat trips. So those are on a Thursday because we get a better deal on the boat. Again, we're nonprofit. Basically, we're all volunteer staffing. We don't have any staffing just yet. And just again, something that we wanted to give back to Port Hueneme and South Oxnard, and since I know how to fish and have the resources.
It is. It's an excellent program. I see all the kids out here. I've been out here many times and see them all, and they all look like they're having fun. My brother was one of those kids that used to come out here as a kid and just a single mom and stuff, and it was the same thing. He learned himself. It would have been nice if he would have had a mentor.
Yeah. I just hang out with to be honest with you, just watching the guys that are on the pier will kind of help you out. It was a safe place. I mean, I didn't have a fishing pole when I was a kid, so I remember just getting some string out of the trash can, make a little drop line, getting a little mackerel heart out of the sink, and dropping it down and catching my first mackerel, and then cut that up for bait. So that's what we started. Let's see, I was going to show you this. We used to use these things here. We keep it as good luck as a reminder. The spark plug in the can too. So we'll do
That's
it.
perfect.
And, yeah. So people want to do more things with their family anyway. Excuse me. Sorry. Cut that out. So if you go to an amusement park or a ball game, something like that, like your kids are entertained with what's going on there, the activity, not so much fellowshipping and hanging out like you see these families here, because they'd rather run around, go on rides, or do something else. You're watching. I mean, I love the Dodgers, of course, and watch the game, but we don't have that same kinship or fellowship that you have. Something about the outdoors,
Yes.
And then also, there's dolphins right there behind us. We had the wildlife founder, the good Lord, dropped off those dolphins for us over there, and we had some seals already. So when it opens up, you have the Channel Islands behind us, and I worked at Port Hueneme Sport Fishing a long time ago, and I would make the phone calls. I would get the phone calls from people that would make reservations to come out. And that's why I started working, taking people out to catch a memory, catch a boat. And they would come from all over the place. In Ventura County, we would have the least amount of 805 numbers, or like the least amount of numbers on the sign-in sheet, And so I know people come from all over, to experience what we have in our backyard. And kids that live, 5 minutes away don't even understand what's here. So
Exactly. Yes. Well.
So it's fishing. It's fishing based. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, so it. I'll give you a place to cut. So it is fishing based, but there's a lot more to it. The educational part. We do the hoop net pulling, where the kids learn about ecosystem and how fish and crab and different animals live together symbiotically, and how the plankton that comes through, because the Channel Islands has a unique drop off. You have different currents that come in the front of the islands to the back of the islands, and you have what's called an upwelling. So an upwelling is when the sea ledge comes up, you have the deep port, and the currents that push it along will push this up. And all those nutrients, all that plankton, all that stuff kind of gets up into the chain, and then you have sardines that come along, and then you got the fish that chase them. So we get to show them. But here in the Channel Islands, that's why the whales migrate through here, and it's just a great place. So if we're not exposing, giving the kids opportunity to see what's in our backyard, And,
Yep. Well, I really appreciate it.
Oh, let me add a couple more things real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
We do. You need to cut this in. I'm sorry. That we do provide everything. So we have fishing poles. We have our volunteers. We got the hooks, the weights, the bait. Channel Island Sport Fishing's been giving us bait. They were the first donor. They gave us all the lost and found stuff that was left behind for a year. So we started, with some gear. And you see, we have 2 carts full of gear. The hoop nets. All you have to do is just show up. If you have gear that you don't know how to use, it's been, great grandfathers handed down, then we'll show you how to use it. If you're, I know you guys that are watching, sometimes you want to go fishing, but you don't want to ask for direction, because you know how guys are. So come on down anyway. We'll show you how to use the gear, because we want people to start doing this on their own as well.
Yes.
They can make this part of their pastime and tradition on the weekend.
Yes.
You know, it's pay to park, make a sandwich, come hang out for 3 hours, catch a memory, see a dolphin, you know.
Yes.
And in Port Hueneme, the coolest place on the planet.
There you go. And today's National Hero Day, so here's our hero for Port Hueneme Beach.
That's right. I'll be mayor one day. Go Kevin Brannon, and I approve this message.